Good afternoon, class, and thank you for tuning in to my Unit 5 discussion. So, in the case scenario, it appears that Jim, Hugh, and Carol all have differences in opinions about the organizational goals and values. The token economy represents adocracy values for innovation and change. So, it just seems that Jim feels that if he can create a work environment where his staff can operate independently and make choices based on their skill levels, that they become more empowered and contribute to the organization's program goals. Jim's idea for rolling the token economy out actually conflicts with Hugh's hierarchy values for stability, reliance, and traditional therapy methods. Hugh appears to value stability and tradition. He has a commitment to sustainable change rather than immediate behavioral reinforcement. And it just aligns with his preference to continue these processes, such as the traditional one-on-one therapy, to achieve goals of building trust-based relationships with clients. And lastly, Jim's clan culture values for trust and autonomy, they clash with Carol's hierarchy culture values for structure and accountability. Jim's focus on providing flexibility for the staff has unintentionally delayed the agency in meeting the market culture values, in efficiency and measurable outcomes, which highlights Carol's organizational values that are hold importance for her. Applies operant conditioning, a behavioral theory, which basically encourages desired behaviors. Jim is attempting to encourage desired and specific outcomes from both the clients and the staff within the scenario. I feel that Jim believes that by offering specific reinforcements or rewards, he can motivate the clients to consistently demonstrate responsible behaviors. Similar to what he's trying to do with the staff by providing them with flexibility in their work schedules and processes, he hopes to motivate them to achieve long term program goals. Theories that support methods previously used by program staff include psychodynamic and humanistic approaches. Psychodynamic theory focuses on long term therapy, providing insight in resolving internal psychological struggles. This theory also aligns closely with Hugh's values and goals of helping clients address the deeper internal issues and or conflicts that they may have in order to identify the root causes of their substance use issues and challenges. Hugh believes that Jim's use of the token economy, just which is based off the operant conditioning, will be ineffective because it will not fully address the underlying causes of the client's addiction, and he feels that those issues will just be unresolved. Hugh also appears to be influenced by humanistic, client centered approaches, which emphasize the importance of personal growth, emotional support, and individual choice. Carl Rogers' self actualization theory suggests that individuals can achieve self awareness and make positive changes within a supportive environment. If Hugh's methods and ideas are used, he can serve as a supportive guide for his clients through his role as therapist. In contrast, under the behavioral approach, Hugh and other staff can only act as facilitators of the reinforcement strategies that are being used. And they will primarily just be focusing on symptom management rather than addressing root causes. This is because behaviorism, this is because behavioral theory is primarily concerned with modifying behaviors without taking a deep regard for the client's emotional or psychological state. In the scenario, Jim adopted a laissez faire leadership approach, which gave his staff minimal supervision and autonomy in scheduling and determining how to work with the clients. Jim believed that this style would help staff stay motivated and accountable toward reaching their client and program goals. However, due to the lack of direction and supervision, the staff failed to meet these expectations. Jim also used a bit of transformational leadership. I feel he did this by encouraging his staff initially to embrace the token economy process and adopt a new approach to treatment. That approach was going to focus on client behavioral reinforcement and outcomes. However, again, Jim did not fully implement key transformational leadership practices, such as motivating his team throughout the process. If he had done so, he would have been able to align the full team around the idea and create somewhat of a shared actively help the clients, and it would allow him to address some of the staff concerns that weren't fully in agreement with the process of the token economy. I believe the laissez-faire approach did have some good qualities. It encouraged independence from his staff initially. And that had the potential to boost their confidence, promote professional growth, and it offered a fresh perspective on traditional substance use treatment methods. However, the leadership style ultimately lacked structure and accountability from the staff. And that's just, again, due to Jim's reluctance to create a shared vision, I believe, in his rollout for the token economy. I think that Jim should have communicated more with his staff about the pros and cons of the process before making the change. Doing so would have fostered that shared vision. It would have increased the trust amongst him and the staff and enhance the staff buy-in, their motivation levels, and their commitment to making the process successful. Leadership skills that posed challenges for Jim included supervision and oversight and conflict management. Jim did not provide adequate supervision. His assumption that all of the professional staff will remain accountable in their work practices with significant levels of flexibility that they were given was extremely optimistic, and it lacked practical follow through. As it relates to conflict management, Jim struggled to address the serious concerns and resistance from Hugh and Carol regarding the token economy. Regarding the token economy, he did not effectively listen to or evaluate the constructive criticism provided by the most experienced staff members that he had. They had been with the program for the longest amount of time. I feel that Carol's suggestion to implement rules and regulations to the processes surrounding the token economy should have prompted Jim to just make necessary adjustments. His reluctance to communicate and understand the concerns of his staff, it just undermined his effectiveness as a leader. If I were in Jim's position, I would have acknowledged and validated the concerns of my staff. This could have been done in either individual or group sessions with the team, providing them with the opportunity for them to just share their opinions about the pros and cons of implementing the token economy. Doing so would have allowed Jim to include the staff in the decision making process and to create structure and balance prior to the rollout of the token economy. I think that was one of the core issues, assumptions that he made about how that process would look long term. And I feel like just having more in depth conversations with the staff, hearing their concerns, um, and actually evaluating and implementing some of those concerns and adjusting, making some needed adjustments to make the process flow better, not only for the well-being of the clients, but just for the morale of the staff in general, just would have made the process more successful than it was. Reflecting on the issues raised in the scenario, I feel that a collaborative decision making style would have been the best approach. When this is done effectively, this style can reduce resistance, improve team cohesion, and encourage buy in and commitment. It would have also allowed Jim to leverage. Uh, this process would have also allowed Jim to leverage the expertise and the perspectives of his team. By doing so, Jim would have ensured that all of their viewpoints were heard and considered, and this could have improved the program overall. So, again, class, I just want to thank you for tuning in to my Unit 5 discussion. Um, Thank you so much.